Question.
How are agents like us,
who didn't get an opportunity to invest in a franchise early,
who are spending time and money to sell homes,
building someone else's saleable asset?
How do we grow a business but still build wealth?
Have an exit strategy,
and get a piece of the pie that's not dependent
on us working more hours and every weekend?
That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answer.
My name is Jay Kinder.
My name is Al Stasik.
And I'm Michael Reese. We are your hosts, and welcome to the One Big Fire Podcast.
What's going on, everybody that's watching on Facebook, on YouTube, I think we're on LinkedIn. I'm not sure, maybe. We got an exciting announcement today. Mr. David Frost and the Frost Real Estate team has joined us at eXp Realty. I'm so excited, buddy. How are you doing today, man?
Good, and I'm just as excited. Good.
Yeah, man. It's funny because like when we talked the first time, it was like right before the whole COVID-19 thing happened, and you were interested, but you were not real sure, and then all of a sudden, man, you were all in. You know what I mean? So what?
Right.
You gotta share the story. What first of all, tell everybody a little bit about your team, because I think you've been you're one of those teams that's really on the growth path and having a lot of success, which makes it even harder to make a move, right? So tell us a little bit about your team and what areas you service, just so kind of everybody gets to know you.
Yeah, so we're a smaller team, but we're hoping to grow, obviously, now at eXp. There's only 4 agents now working, including myself. We have an admin, and then my wife also is the office manager, kind of handles all of our systems. But we service the Jacksonville, North Carolina market, which is military. So we have all the Marines here, and then I also service some of Fort Bragg area. So I was in the military a long time. My wife was military. That's how we met. And then the one agent on my team, Adam Strano, he was also military. And we kind of service that market. So it stays steady, but constantly, constantly transitioning.
Yep.
I ran into, the eXp deal. I was kind of looking at all the different models, and I'm telling you, what you say is true. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. And
right.
I just, I sat there and I said, man, let me look at this again. And, I started looking at things, watching all your videos and these type videos as well, where people coming on to eXp. And then I just started researching it. And then I just started doing numbers. And I think you even say,
do the math, right? You just did the math, right?
Right. Did the math and, kind of laid everything out. And then, I think you say it too somewhere. You say, once you see it, you can't unsee it, but then you start trying to find something wrong with it. Like you're like, okay, there's something not right. And I went through that phase, that phase of looking. And
what did you find? Because I think everybody goes through that. It can't be this good. There's got to be something or whatever, right? Like these things that we tell ourselves subconsciously. What did you find as you were thinking? Like, maybe it's this though. Or was there anything that was like you really questioned or thought maybe wasn't what you thought it was or anything like that?
No, not really. Everything that I looked at and kind of did numbers on, there was nothing that jumped out at me and said, hey, this doesn't look right or anything. It's just that I was looking at every angle.
Yeah, you were looking at it much closer, right? Like down in the weeds, looking at every little detail.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, I looked at every video. Yeah, I watched every video from agents that were new that joined to top agents, Kyle Whistle, all them guys. I watched all that stuff, and kind of get a feel for, their thoughts. And, they did the 90-day reviews and they do the year review,
Yeah.
So I watched it all and, just to get a good feel for it. And it's the real deal. A lot of people say it's the new thing and that's why people are going there and, be careful. And I get it. Trust me. People who know me, I don't make a spur of the moment, decision. I kind of, especially when it comes to business, I really weigh in on it. I look at it and I really think about it. And again, from the company that I was with, was Coldwell here, is the number one company. They are most professional, excellent company, nothing at all bad, great leadership, everything. And we had a good run there. We were there almost 4 years and we were their, basically their second top smaller team. We were runner up listings every year to this one other team. And then in sales, we were just as high up as far as an organization as almost you could. I mean, we did really well. So just had a good run with them. But, ultimately the income opportunities with eXp is just crazy.
Right.
Just, I think me and you and I have talked about it, saying, if I'm just coming over, I'm going to sell real estate, okay, I'm still going to get, the shares and the stock and things like that. If I'm going to go to a convention, same thing. I mean, these are things I do anyways. And it's just a no brainer to me. I don't know.
Right.
So.
Yeah. It's funny, once you do the math, like if you do the math, in almost all circumstances, it's going to be better, right? Like it's going to be better, but that's not enough for everybody to make a move. Just if it's a little bit better, but in a lot of cases, it's a lot better in terms of what people are paying to be at a certain brokerage. And if you're not dependent on that business, if you're generating your own business, and then it just doesn't make sense. You can't afford to continue to grow, and again, for you, because I fell into the same trap and again, had 10 great years at Coldwell Banker. It was number 2 in the world at one point, sold 500 plus homes a year for multiple years. But I was paying them so much money. And, when it's like a frog in a boiling pot, as you start to have more success and the next year you double and you're so busy, that you don't have time to really sit down and look at other better alternatives because you're trying to keep the train on the tracks moving forward. It's kind of hard to take that time and make that shift. So talk maybe about that. Obviously COVID-19 slowed things down a bit. That surely probably helped a little bit as far as like the time to really investigate and look at it. But was there anything else about the transition that was, different than what you expected, or was it smooth? How did that process, or how's that process going actually? Because I know you just moved over.
Yeah, I mean, it's been smooth. I mean, today is really our move over date in the sense of yesterday we kind of closed out everything and then we're kind of transferring everything over actually today. So this morning's been kind of hectic, a lot of emails, a lot of texts between my sellers and then my team, and then of course eXp and some of Coldwell Banker. So, but it's going as smooth as it can go in a sense of with a lot of, it's like 20 something listings or so we're taking, and we have like 15, I think, pending something. I mean, there's a lot of things going with it. So then, but as far as the eXp side of it, no, I mean, it's flowing. They've been very helpful, and they've been moving, Rhonda, who's I guess I don't know if it's a state broker, but she's helping us with everything. I mean, it was 7 p.m. She's sending emails and making sure the move is moving. Same thing with Tracy, with you, she's always been helping us throughout. So smooth.
That's
smooth,
awesome.
Can't complain.
That's good. Yeah. It's hard to make a smooth transition with that kind of business going on. So kudos to you for making the move. I'm excited for you and excited to be your business partner. So what was it what was like the one thing that finally did it for you? Was there, if there was one thing, it's usually multiple things, right? But what was it that you finally said, man, we got to do this?
Honestly, it was everybody can win. Meaning, like when you develop teams, and I've seen a lot of teams join, eXp and Nick Good. Is it Nick Good, right? Yeah, he joined a while. He's got, I watched some of his videos. Like, when you sit down and you think about it for your team members who are just new in the business. I have 2 agents that are, really new. They don't know much of anything. They're just starting out. They're doing really well. But, when I started, I've only been in real estate 6 years. This is my 7th year. We sold over 400 homes and I've listed almost the same amount. So we've done a lot of transactions, but for them, I wish I would have knew about eXp back then, because I would be way ahead of the game now, right? And for them, it's such a great opportunity for them to have somewhat of other ways to generate income aside from just trying to sell 100 homes like I did every year. I mean, that's all I did every year and still do. I mean, I just push, and it's all real estate related. And then you got to take that money, as you know, Jay, right? And most of us know. You take that money and you got to save some, then you got to pay your taxes.
Yeah.
And then, before you know it, it's like, ooh, I mean, I'm doing well, but there's got to be a better way. And I think you said that. You're sitting here like, there's got to be a better way.
Dude, that's I've been saying it for 23 years in real estate.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just, it's a constant grind. Everybody talks about COVID-19, and it's obviously had a major financial impact on a lot of people and a lot of businesses. but like real estate has a COVID-19 every year going into the wintertime, right? Like it always dramatically business gets cut in half every year. And so like, as we run our businesses and you have a good summer, and then you got to really push through the wintertime and hope that, as you're growing and you got a team and everybody's got to eat, it's always a challenge, to keep things going. And so, I think that's part of the reason, not all the reason, but it's part of the reason that real estate agents struggle. They struggle to pay their taxes. They struggle to save for their future. And, to find a business model that gives us some additional leverage to create a passive income and to, for doing the things that we're already doing, to get some stock and ownership in a publicly traded company. This shareholders event we just had, was incredible. The content was incredible. The speakers, they're all top agents that are speaking and teaching on what they're doing today that's working. And it's just a different vibe that I've ever seen, in terms of the ability to, learn from anybody and everybody in the organization, and the willingness for those people to teach what's working. It's just a cool environment to be in. If you're in real estate and want to be successful, why would you be anywhere else? You can say I had somebody, tell me that they love their broker, and I said, let's do the math. And then, do you love them enough to buy them an Escalade? Because that's what you bought them this year, right? Like, let's really talk about, maybe they're a really great person. I get it. But like, you're running a business here. It's time to make business decisions, and it's what's best for your family. Like, the amount of money, the difference in what you were paying, where you were at, and what you're going to get here at eXp, and just the stock and whatever the opportunity we have is in revenue share as well. But like, it's going to be a big amount of money for you over time. It could be life changing, right? So it's super cool, man. I love it. I'm glad that you saw it. You know what I'm saying? The people that see it, that get it, and they're always the best people, because they're smart enough to take the time to look at it, do the research. I don't think nobody's come over that. Not very many people that I've talked to have watched at least 5 videos, right? Like, it takes a little while to kind of grasp the whole concept. But what else as far as, kind of going through this process that you discovered about the model, or that's really got you excited?
I'm just excited all around. I think the whole model itself really works. And again, I think you've said it numerous times on a lot of the videos, and you guys got me?
Yep, we got you. Usually it's my internet. My internet cut off 3 times in the last hour and a half. So if I drop, that's what it is.
All right. But, like you said before, some people just don't have an open mind. And like I always said, you have to look at things with an open mind. If you come in just say there's no way, but nothing is ever going to be good then. You just, and I think that's the biggest thing is, like, for me, I was all about just looking at it, and nobody recruited me, or nobody was calling me, or nobody was, it was all me. It was just me. I think probably the virus had a lot to do with it. I had some downtime that I normally wouldn't, maybe. And I just was doing a lot of, stuff from home and administrative stuff. And, but again, going into the model for eXp, it's, it's that model, right? It's cloud-based, and just, you don't have to worry about a brick and mortar or whatever. And then it's funny that all the other brick and mortar type offices, that's what they were promoting during this crisis, right? Is, we can do everything virtually. We don't even need the office. We don't need that. And again, when you think about it, it's like, well, there you go. That's eXp's. That's the model. They've been doing that for years.
Right. It couldn't have been validated any better during COVID-19. And it's really crazy. It hit me one day, and it was like early on in like right after March 2nd or 3rd, or when they announced it. It was on about the 5th day. It was starting to feel a little bit weird, and the kids home, you're trying to teach them, and it's like, it's this whole new thing we're going through. And it just struck me that, the 700 plus employees at eXp that add all the value to us agents and everything, nothing changed for them. They didn't miss a single meeting. Like, everything was just business as usual, because it was really like an aha moment even for me, that this model is really impressive, and we're the example of a business that runs virtually. We are the example as a company. Now a publicly traded company that's, you know,
Right.
that's not at $1 billion, but near $1 billion, whatever it is, 750 million valuation, is running completely virtual, right? Like,
Right.
and now the companies have had to go this direction. There's, you know, I'm hearing it. My neighbor, I was down the street, I was watching the kids were all playing together, and she was telling me that, you know, that her company's just about to send out a survey about who would work from home. They're considering, because they have a huge downtown, they have a whole building that's theirs downtown, like a skyscraper building, and they're like getting
Right.
people into elevators and like trying to figure out that whole thing, and they're considering, you know, moving everybody working from home because they figured out how to do it during this whole pandemic. And guess what? People like it. A lot of people don't, but, you know, some people don't, but a lot of people do. And you know, and that's you know, so it's really interesting. And one of the cool things about that, as you know, David, is the stock that we get is in eXp, which owns Verbella, which owns that technology that now all these companies are looking at. We've got NDA signed with all these different companies that are looking at our technology because it makes absolute sense to them now to consider that. And so, yeah, it's really been an interesting last couple months, to say the least. But it's been pretty exciting, I think, for eXp and for this company and for all of us that are a part of it. I'm really excited about the future.
And I think another thing you asked before, and I just thought of it, about something I didn't know is, you know, in our market here, there hasn't been a big flow of people jumping to eXp. So, you know, for me, I thought, well, why isn't people, you know, jumping over there? But, you know, there's been onesies and twosies that have. And even I did this, being a seasoned agent too. You know, people brought it up, and I said, well, you know, you're going to have to fall under them, you know, and you know, they don't outsell you, or you know, how are they going to teach you, whatever. I didn't realize that eXp, you know, like I found you, Jay, and I followed you, and now I'm with the Honey Badge group, right? I'm underneath you guys, or my team.
Right.
You know, there's a couple other agents here, but they're not. You know, some's maybe out of with Charlotte, the Charlotte group, or whatever, but. It gives you the ability to kind of pick and choose who you want to be partnered with,
right?
Which is unbelievable, because at any other firm, you don't get that. You
know,
you're stuck with what you got, right? And, and you're stuck with the office that you get, that who's next to you, left and right. You know, you may not even like that team or that person, but every day you may have to see them. Or so, you know, the eXp model is so different, and people still don't get it. I've talked to an independent broker just the other day, as you know, me and you had talked before, but they just don't get it. I just don't understand how they can have this, do that, you know, and they just don't take the time to learn, and you know, they just got to do it. But once they do, they're not going to be able to unsee it. And you just got to do the numbers and look at it.
You got to take the time. You got to take the time. And one thing that's always helped me is, you know, asking a better question, right? Like, you know, the change your questions, change your life. You know, but what, you know, if I was going to make this work, how would I, right? Like, and if you start getting curious and really looking at it and really looking at the model, how it operates, and start saying, okay, well, how do you do this at eXp? How does it work here, right? Like, and you really look at it. I mean, you'll see, oh, be a better way, actually, right? That's what it boils down to. I mean, you know, I always jokingly, you know, say, like, you know, Amazon, when I ordered my first book on Amazon, I had no clue that I was going to be ordering everything in the future. Everything I order was going to come from Amazon, right? Like, I had no idea.
Yeah,
right.
I was like, that was working.
Right, whatever. Like, you know, didn't see it at all, right? Like, what's happening is there's a lot of people out there being like, whatever, that's not going to work. And it's funny, the comments, like, was it what? Maybe it was one that, no, it wasn't one that you shared. It was another person that I talked to yesterday. Shared with me a broker that their response, he screenshotted it from his text message of what he said was, he said it was a pyramid scheme. He said it was a pyramid scheme. And what did he say? He said something else. It was so, he's like, and the people that are in the know think they'll be out of business in the next 2 years. So I'm like, this is a guy that owns a business. And I'm like, you basically just said, I am dumb. I do not know. I have not done the research. I have no idea what I'm talking about. So I'm going to lean on what somebody else told me. Like, it's incredible. Like, it's incredible. Like, you know, how about you take a look at it and then poke some holes in it? Let's have a conversation, you know, an intelligent, right? Like, but it's, you know, it's all right. They'll eventually get it, or they won't, you know what I'm saying? And they'll probably go out of business with the rest of them. But yeah, I just don't see how anybody in their right mind wouldn't be joining us at eXp. And the point you're making with partnering up, you know, if you're a real estate agent in whatever company you're at right now, I can tell you this, there's nobody in that company that is getting compensated based upon your success directly.
Right.
And that means that nobody's going to sleep at night thinking about how to help you. And that's not the case at eXp. At eXp,
Right.
there's at least 7 people that are going to bed thinking about how to help you grow your business. And on top of that, there's all these other people in the organization that are all just trying to create more value for the entire company because we all win together. There's no reason to keep it private. If I'm going to create something that's valuable, I'm going to share it with everybody. I want the company to do well. And that's something, think about this, like, if my dad was the broker at Coldwell Banker, and when it came down to it, if he tried to tell me his vision for the company and this, that, and the other, I'd be like, that's all good and great. You're not changing the commission splits though, right? Like that, I wanted him to do well. He's my dad, right? But like, I'm good unless you mess with my commission, and then we can talk about your vision, and talk about my commission. But that may not be. I wasn't in alignment, right? I didn't really care to see the company do better. It wasn't but it was not if it was going to get in the way of me doing better. I mean, I think that's how most real estate agents are. But at eXp, it's different. It's different. We all are thinking different because we all get ownership. We're only paying a cap of 16,000. Like, why would we want everybody to do better? If we all do better, we all make more money together. Our stock is worth more. Like, what a brilliant business model, man. I've been at 2.5 years and I'm still this excited. We're going to have a good time. That's all I can tell you.
Exactly. I mean, and that's another thing that I looked at is everybody that I have followed or watched, Brett Cove and some other, all of you are excited. Years later, you're still as excited, still motivated, still, enthusiastic about when you talk to people and things like that. That's a huge difference. You don't get that day to day in an regular office. You just don't. I mean, so people across the country within eXp, it's a constant. That's what I've seen. And it's contagious, obviously, if you have that. So I'm excited about joining. My team is really excited, the opportunities. And I just think that if you're an agent out there and you see this, you just got to look at it. I mean, sit down and just look at it. Call somebody, call Jay, call Brett, call whoever. I mean,
they should reach out to David. They should reach out to you.
To me for sure.
I got you.
I'm ready. Yeah. I mean, but I just think you just have to, sit down and look at it for your business. The thing that and again, you probably know this too, Jay, is most realtors are so transactional based that they're just like, hey, I sell 100 houses. I'm good. What do you mean? And they just go from one deal to the next, and there's no system there. And then when they get too old to do it, or the market crash or whatever, then they're like, okay, I'm out of business. Or there's no vision of future
there's no future. There's no plan. There's no plan for the future. That's the reality. And that the 5, and this was a big deal. I'm sure you noticed the 5% you can take of every transaction, every one of your commissions. You can take 5%, and so can your agents, and that goes towards purchasing the stock at a 10% discount. If it requires me to write a check or to go into my TD Ameritrade and take a percentage every time and do it, it's probably not going to happen. That's just the reality. We, as real estate agents, we're just not as disciplined at those types of investments and stuff like that as we are other things. And a lot of times we try to pour it back into our business. So like that, at the end of your career, you sell a lot of real estate, man. I mean, who knows what that's going to be worth? I mean, like there's going to be, and I know some people that are in eXp that were in it 5 years ago, right? When the stock was like $1, right? Like I wish I'd have been there and had a bunch of stock, because they're sitting really good right now. But I don't know, stocks go up, stocks go down, but it's certainly better than nothing, right? We're not getting anything anywhere else.
Exactly. I kept it simple, Jay. When I looked at it, even my wife, she was very hard. She's always very detailed oriented. What about this? What if this happens? Or what? So I just said, listen, we're just gonna make it this easy, right? We're gonna shrink everything down, and we're just gonna go sell real estate. Do you think we'll make more money? Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Then we should move, right? I mean, that's it. We're done. I mean, that's how simple you do it. So you're going to make more money. I said, okay, so do we have any stock in any company that we work for in real estate ever? Do we have any stock? No. Okay. There's 2 right there. I mean, we can move right now, right? And then she kept laughing and smiling because I just kept proving, just shrink it down. Don't overwhelm yourself. Right. And I think Kyle Whistle, I think in a video he said is when he talks to people, he doesn't get so much on the stocks as much as he does on revenue share and just making more money and being able to do well there. Just because, because stocks are going to fluctuate, right? You don't want people joining and just hoping, wow, man, I got stock, I'm rich. things are going to happen. But real estate's the same way. It's going to go up and down. You're going to have your good times, your bad times. But, that's how I did it with my wife. And I think some people just get overwhelmed with so much of the information. Although I think it's pretty simple. You just kind of bring it back to simple. Are you going to make more money per sales if that's what you're going to focus on? Okay, if that's true, good. Do you have a team, or you think that people would follow you for the revenue share? There's some more. I mean, if you're not going to focus on it, but you can get onesies, twosies, that's still better than you have now. For me, I brought agents on my team in the past who left my team and who stayed with the company.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what I got for that?
Zero.
I mean, I've got nothing.
I know,
right?
Yeah,
yeah. And
it's such a bitter. It's bittersweet. They leave. They're doing really well. They leave. You kind of want them to be successful, but you're really kind of depressed. And frustrated. Right. So
yeah. And you're sitting there.
Definitely solves that.
And I told my wife, I said, Brittany, if we just think of the people we lost, a $4 million producer or $2 million, there you go. They're still in the company, but we're not gaining anything from that, And
you have an incentive now to help them, right? Like
that's right.
There's a reason for you to help them.
That's right. No matter if they join my team or not, in a sense of my personal team, like Rouse,
right?
But if they partner with me, either way, I'm there to help them, and I'm going to make them better, however I can. But ultimately, if they decide, I'm going to be on a team, I want to do it on my own, but I love eXp, great. You don't lose that person totally, and the firm just banks, right? So I love that option as well. I just think, that's just things people are not thinking about. I don't think so. They got to think about it all. You got to think
about it all. Yeah, and we'll leave them with this. So, like, if you haven't sold 100 homes a year, David has, and so if you want to get to that level, who better to be in business with than David, right? Like, he's done it, and he'd be willing to help you do it. So think about it like that. You get literally a built-in coach mentor that's at the rung that you're trying to get to, and they're going to have a financial incentive to help you get there. Do you think that would be better for your business than what you've currently structured that you're in? And I can tell you the answer is yes. Right.
Yes,
so and I guess who else has a vested interest? Me personally, I have a vested interest in yours. Do you think that would be good for your business? I think it is. Absolutely. Yes. I'm a pretty good business partner. I can help you do some things. In fact, me and David, we were talking earlier. We got the most ridiculous tool I've ever seen in the history of marketing that we have at our fingertips, and we give that to you. And it's going to be something that blows your mind. It is amazing. So it's a huge opportunity. Investigate it. I mean, I'm going to get off my soapbox now, go back to my Freedom Friday, and do whatever it is I want to do for the rest of the day. But David, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. In fact, I'm going to go start building some funnels in this new tool. I'm like literally chomping at the bits to play with it. But man, any last words you'd have for anybody that's maybe watching and thinking about it?
No, I mean, I'm just excited to be part of this group, continue to learn from everybody, and hopefully when all this mess clears up, we can all get together. I'm excited.
I know, right?
Each of you personally, and just any agent out there, I'm telling you, just take a look at it. Just got to look at it and weed through the numbers, because the numbers are going to shock you when you start doing them, and just the opportunity that eXp provides to you. If you're just going to sell real estate, just stay focused on that, and still way better.
Right. No doubt, man. Yep. So hands down. All right, everybody, appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. And David Frost, welcome you and your team to eXp Realty, and looking forward to being in business with you, my friend.
Absolutely. Same here. Thanks, Jay. Appreciate it.
Yep.